Hey everybody, it's me, Movie Nights with Mike. I'm Mike. I'm your co-host, or I'm your host, not your co-host, because there's no other host. Anyway, I just got out of seeing the new Priscilla movie that's directed by Sofia Coppola, who is, Francis Ford Coppola's daughter. This is the first movie that I've seen of hers in a while. I didn't see Marie Antoinette that she directed many years ago. I've heard mixed things about it. I did see Lost in Translation, which a lot of people have in their top films lists over in the early 2000s. I like that movie too. I don't know if I would put it in my top list, but I thought it was okay. So anyway, this movie right here, Priscilla, is basically another take on its more independent film towards basically like the side of Priscilla Presley's side of her life with Elvis. Unlike the big name, the big budget blockbuster Elvis movie we got last year from Warner Brothers. Here we have basically the independent A24 film from Sofia Coppola. It has a bunch of people in it that I'd never the girl that plays Priscilla, she was in The Big Trouble at the El Dorado, that came out 5 years ago. I didn't really remember that. I just looked it up in IMDb. That's how I found out. But anyway, this film right here that I just saw tonight, it was, one of the executive producers was Priscilla Presley. So, it was based off of her memoir that she came out with called, Elvis and Me. I don't know what year it came out, but, it's... So, basically, it's, her side of the story of what she had to deal with. Because, quite frankly, in the Elvis movie, we really didn't get much of her side. We saw her and we saw what basically they were portraying in that film about how they met, and a little tidbits here and there, and how basically their marriage, and eventually that they separated and got divorced. And because that movie was it was based on it was of course for about Elvis. It was centralized around Elvis because Elvis is the bigger name, and so here we are, and we get basically Priscilla's side in the movie Priscilla. I had a little bit of minor complaints, I don't know if it was the theater I was in. But, at the very beginning, at least, for the first, 20 to 25 minutes, I was noticing, the color schemes in the film were a little off. I don't know if that was basically just the theater I was in. But, I just noticed, there was, on the right side on the screen, it seemed like it was a little bit darker than on the left side. And so I had some issues with that, and not only that, I also had some issues with, overall, the first third of the movie, I had issues with the lighting. And I was just you know what, Sophia, can you lighten up can you lighten up the picture a little bit? Because, it's so dark. It's shot so dark that, it was a little overwhelming. And so, those were some of my complaints about it. The pacing was okay. I mean, the run time is about an hour and 53 minutes. I mean, basically my complaint about, you know, when I was like seeing it in the theater was, I mean, we didn't even get to the trailers till 10 minutes after it was supposed to start. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why are we basically, you know, why, like, I mean, the film says it's supposed to start at 6:30, and 6:30 is when usually, you know, the 6:30 is when the previews are supposed to start. But I mean, we're still like we're watching like commercials and stuff like that leading up to the previews. And the previews, of course, you know, I mean, the film did not start until 6:55. So that was just a minor complaint of mine, was that here we are, you know, and not only that, the theater I was watching it in, it was like stadium. It was the old school stadium theater seating, and chairs don't go back. So I'm like shuffling around throughout the whole movie. So, I mean, I just wish that was a little bit different. Come on, Regal. I mean, why can't you update your seats like everybody else? So anyway, I thought the film was fine. I don't think it's something that I'll watch again, but I mean, I'm glad that I got a chance to see it and get a better understanding of things. And I mean, quite frankly, watching this one, I got a better understanding of what it was like basically living with Elvis. There was like little to no mention. I mean, so like when I was watching the movie, like I know that you know, in the Elvis movie that came out last year, the major big budget one, that Elvis's manager Colonel was like basically one of the main characters in the film. This one, I don't know if you actually see him in the movie. I know he's brought up, like, I counted, I think 3 times. Like, he's mentioned like 3 times, and I know Elvis like talks to him on the phone in one scene. But overall, like, he's not really a main focus in this movie at all. So if you think that you're gonna basically see anything with Colonel, no, it's really not. This is all about, you know, Elvis and Priscilla, and, you know, what they went through from like the beginning of when they met in like 1959 in Germany to I don't even remember when they got divorced, but that's basically that's the gist of it. And so it was really eye-opening. Quite frankly, I see this, like, if a lot of people see this movie, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people will, like, basically not keep hiring a lot of Elvis impersonators here in the future. And my uncle's an Elvis impersonator. I don't think he's really going to like this movie, seeing what his idol, how he's portrayed in this movie. That's just my opinion. But, I mean, it's so, like, I mean, there's not really any spoilers, I mean, really, because, I mean, everybody knows what happened between them and, like, Priscilla and Elvis, like, there at the end. I mean, they got divorced. I mean, you Google it, you know? So it's not really any spoilers. Overall, I just thought the movie was, I thought it was fine. I would not buy it. This is not something I would basically put on my shelf. I thought it was decent. Some score-wise, I thought it was pretty forgettable. I mean, I didn't really pick up any great, like, soundtrack or anything with the movie. It was just, I mean, it was like a slow burn. It was a slow burn, and it was a decent movie. I know that this was the kind of story that that Priscilla wanted to get out. I think probably because of maybe the big budget Elvis movie that came out last year. And so she wanted to basically expand a little bit on that and like piggyback on that and get her side of the story out. So anyway, film was decent. I would give it probably, in my grand scheme of things, in my grading scale, I would give it like a B+. It was a decent movie. It was pretty good, but it's not something I'd buy. It's not something I'd go out and rush and watch again. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed what I saw. The guy who played Elvis, he was pretty good. The girl that played Priscilla was very, very good. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Just to let you know, if I'm gonna leave more information in my description. If basically, you know, if anybody is looking to buy or sell real estate in Maryland or Pennsylvania, I'd love to help you out. I'm licensed both states. So just like, if you know of anybody, just put my name out there and I'd be glad to help them. But overall, this movie I thought was pretty good. I thought it was decent. It's not shelf worthy for me. But then again, to get on my shelf, it's pretty hard nowadays. I'm not like what I was 10 years ago, where when a movie came out, I would go out and buy it right away and put it on my shelf. And nowadays, like, I'm sort of minimalistic. If it's something I can see myself watching multiple times, then yes, I will basically buy it and I'll put it on my shelf. If I don't see myself, you know, watching it more than once, like, you know, if I don't see myself like watching it like once, like annually or something like that, you know, like at least one time a year, I'm not going to buy it. So that's just the way my shelf works. Because, you know, times are tough. And, I mean, would I like to have every movie known to man? Yes. But, quite frankly, you have to be smart with your money nowadays. And that's just the way I'm set up now. So, if I don't see myself, you know, watching it more than once, sure, it's great to have it on the shelf just for, you know, aesthetic purposes, but do I really need it? No. In fact, you know, like I've been selling a lot of my stuff over the years, and that's just because I don't need it. But anyway, so the movie was Priscilla. Year was 2023. This is not one of my top movies of the year. It's one of the, I mean, it's mid-tier in my opinion. It's decent. It's not great. So, if you really want to go and watch this, I always say, you know, go ahead and go to the theater. Keep the theaters alive. Watching the theater for the optimal experience. That's just my opinion. But if not, then yeah, just wait until streaming and you can catch it out there. And if you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Let me know what you think of the Elvis movie that you saw that came out like last year. If you saw it, did you enjoy that movie? I mean, when I saw that movie, I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was a really good movie last year that came out for the Elvis thing. But then again, it was, I mean, that was a higher budget, and of course they did more things, you know, to like appeal to the Elvis audience, you know. Whereas this one was, you know, an independent feel. It was an independent movie. It was A24 independent release. And you could definitely feel that there wasn't as big of a budget going in with this one, where it was just more like basically what's the word? I mean, it was more along the lines of mom and pop type film, whereas the other one was, you know, where you'd consider that one more like like, I mean, because Warner Brothers is a huge studio, so you expect, like, that one's more along the lines of, like, you know, instead of a mom and pop restaurant, that would be like a big chain restaurant, like we're talking about, you know, like, here we are, like, they're going up against, you know, like a Longhorn Steakhouse, you know. Of course, the Longhorn Steakhouse is gonna, like, basically outdo the mom and pop thing. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Let me know if you've seen it or if you're looking to go see it. Overall, I thought the movie was decent. Again, I would give it a B+. I'm not sure what Matt would say, but anyway, that's where I'm at. Anyway, I hope you have a good night. Thanks for watching my videos. I look forward to doing some more in the future. Maybe I think this week I'm going to see Ghost in the Shell. But other than that, I'm not really sure. So we'll see. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye-bye.